Hello, I'm Liz, one of Derry's reference librarians, and welcome to another episode of Misinformation Busters. Once a week, we tackle a rumor or a false or misunderstood story, and we try to separate fact from fiction. This week, we are talking about an actor who's a part of a number of beloved shows and how he might have been involved in the January 6th insurrection attempt at the Capitol. 2021's a weird year. So, what's the story? Well, we all know what happened at the Capitol January 6th. This isn't about that. This is about someone the FBI is looking for who was at the Capitol that day. On March 4th, the FBI released two pictures of a man via Twitter asking for tips to help identify him. As the pictures went around, some people, comedy fans especially, thought it looked like Jay Johnston, known for his role as an actor and writer on the cult favorite TV show Mr. Show, and then shows like Arrested Development, The Sarah Silverman Program, and most recently, voicing Jimmy Pesto on Bob's Burgers. And then there are some who say that he was there. So, what are the facts? Full disclosure, this is a little hard for me. I am a huge Mr. Show fan, and I don't want anyone from the show wanted by the FBI. And looking at the pictures, I can see the resemblance. Kind of. I certainly have never seen him wear his hair like that. But I should point out, when this picture hit, people also thought that it looked like George Clooney. There was another unidentified person that people on Twitter thought looked like Rick Moranis. And there was a photo of someone who was arrested that looked like fellow Mr. Show alum David Cross. The point is, people can have doppelgangers, or at certain angles, people can resemble someone famous. But what do we make of the people who said he was actually there? Spencer Crittenden and Cassandra Church, who work on Harmontown, both say that it was him. Crittenden has since deleted his tweets, but Church's, which say that Johnston admitted to being at the Capitol, are still up. What's a little interesting is that Tess Owens of Vice News asked if she could contact Church for a report. I didn't see a response from Church, and Owen hasn't written anything on this yet. The big one is Tim Heidecker of Tim and Eric fame. He did say on Twitter that Johnston was at the Capitol and that it was confirmed through reliable sources. However, Heidecker deleted those tweets saying, quote, "I deleted the tweet because it was a reply to someone who asked and shouldn't be used as some kind of official source of information or verification." And I agree with that. Some of the stuff that people are using to draw this conclusion it's a little thin. At this point, we have a picture that looks similar to him. Some people are pointing to the fact that Johnston was on Proud Boys founder Gavin McInnes' show as somehow proof. However, to be fair, Johnston was on in 2015 prior to the Proud Boys founding, and, as hard as it may be to believe, McInnes did have comedy connections prior to the Proud Boys. Regardless, it is not proof that he was there, but it could make the case for it a little easier. Journalist Matt Novak reached out to Johnston's agent, and as of March 5th, Novak said he hadn't heard anything back. And in a search of his Twitter, there appeared to be no follow-up that he mentioned. So, eek, but still nothing concrete. Anyway, Twitter has been joking and making some serious comments about Jay Johnston being at the Capitol, to the point where some are asking, does the FBI not have a TV or know how to do a reverse Google image search? But that really doesn't sit right with me, because as of right now, all we are going off of is two pictures, and one kind of doesn't really look like him. Though I do have to admit, the jokes that Jimmy Pesto would be at the Capitol are pretty funny, and as a Bob's Burgers fan, inaccurate. So after all this, I decided to check the FBI's site. It has all of the photos of people they are trying to identify, and if they are identified, guess what? They say arrested. I checked the supposed J photo with the reference number 247. Says nothing. They're still searching. At this point, we have no definitive proof that it is or isn't him. And the most we have is no one has been identified yet. So, who knows? Maybe he's being investigated and that explains the silence. Or maybe he wasn't there and doesn't even want to humor this accusation. Or maybe he'll be named right as I release this video. Point is, I think in cases like this, it's better to check a more official source, like the FBI in this case, than just hearsay on social media. Also, if you haven't, go look up the story of Everest and the mustard mayonnaise sketches for Mr. Show. They are comedy gold. Thank you for watching, and as always, check for sources in the comments, and feel free to research using our EBSCO databases, available through the library's website, or when in doubt, ask a librarian. And I'll see you next week.